Man, stop playing with me.
He funny as hell.
Oh man, that was the Usher shit, bro. When he was on the
facts.
phone, yeah.
Yeah. At the beginning of the song. Yeah. Stop playing.
Stop playing.
Facts.
I'm gonna call you back.
That was funny. That shit was funny as hell.
I'm gonna call you back.
I'm gonna call you back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's crazy. Stop playing though. What's up, P Rose? Yeah. Matter of fact, you pass me that thing right there.
Which one?
That little tripod. The little
right here.
Yeah. I forgot a lot of my cigar. Yeah, my rose on. My dog. Coda. I want to get those so bad, bro.
Yeah, me and the girls, we had got them together.
Right. You gotta get I think a size and a half.
Yeah. We had got them together.
I got the I think they call like True something. They like, but it's more like a fabric though. It's not like leather type thing. It was just dope though.
Take a picture and let TikTok pick the song.
TikTok true.
Oh, you can let me know when you're ready. Alright. Alright. Make sure everything good. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, yo.
Spit the shit to make you feel it in your veins. Hold on, freeze, this that cocaine. But the cool mother lover sons are none other than Neptune. Spit the shit to make you feel it, feel it. Spit the shit to make you feel it, cocaine. Spit the shit to make you feel it, coke, cool. Spit the shit to make you feel it in your veins.
Appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Like, comment, subscribe,
Watch,
share.
support.
Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Yo, we back with another episode of Peep This Podcast, man. You know, this is the host that does the most, your motherfucking nigga Chestnut, man. Hey, man, who's on my left, but y'all see on my right? Talk to him.
It's me. You know, I got a couple of names we can go.
Go by a couple.
We could go by a couple of them, but you know, to the people that really know me, I'm Gavin. To the people that don't know me, I'm the Woo. And then, you know, right around this time of year, to the people who don't know me, I'm Mr. Met League.
Yes, sir, man. How you been, man?
I've been good, just keeping it in the road, taking a day at a time, man.
A day at a time? So, that was the first year of Met League, right? Last year?
No, this is actually year 4.
Wow. So, hold on. So, when did the promotion start coming in?
As far as
like, because when I saw it was last year with Willie. It was kind of really.
Will been around since year 1.
Right.
We started 3 years ago. The first year was at Glen Forest.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of started. It was probably, this was before we was NCAA certified. It was probably like about 60 guys. I think we might have had 6 teams. Might have went to 8 teams by the playoffs. Had about 60 guys. This is about year 1. I think this is 22.
Got you. So where that came from? What made you want to start Met League?
All right, so Jarvis had the 25K tournament.
Okay.
At Ridgeview. And so when he had the 25K tournament, you know, my brother, one of his friends is Thornwell, Sedarius.
Yeah.
So he was having a conversation. We were sitting there talking, and he was talking about, hey, it would be dope if we had like a summer league.
Right.
It's like, you know, they had the other pro-am.
Matter of fact, you right. My dumb ass. I'm just thinking about because of Q. because you know Q just won. When Sedaris was there, right.
That was the first year.
Yeah.
That was the first year at Glen Forest.
Yeah.
That was the first year.
Yeah, you're right. It's going by so fast.
Yeah, the summers. That's why I say we say
that's my fault. Yeah,
we say it's year 4.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Damn, that's
Because that year we only had like the D2 guys and the pros. Because those are the only people that really wanted to play at the time.
Right. Because when Gigi was there, like,
that was the second year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was year 2.
Damn, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clicking now.
It's clicking.
That's fast though.
That's fast.
God.
That's 4 summers. That's about to be 4 summers.
God.
So yeah.
That's what happens when you get right at Unk age. You know?
Yeah. All the blend, all the time blend. Yeah. So it's like we had that, and it was like started with 60 guys. We probably had about 200, 215 now, because we went from 6 teams. Now we had 12 teams.
12. Wow, that's crazy, man. So you got 12 teams. So you just multiplied times 2. Are you trying to get bigger or try to get more venues or?
Nah, like what we did this year though, we gonna see like, you know, we picked a lot of venues. So we started at Glen Forest. We was at Glen Forest the first 2 years. You know, we didn't go back to Glen Forest for year 3. What I started to do year 3 was, you know, we had gyms in Columbia. I mean, listen to me. It's you'd have thought you was booking to have a party.
Right.
Because, you know, basketball got a different stigma in the city about the crowd that it brings out. So, you know, when it come to prices, you know, it ain't really lenient on pricing. So what, you know, last year we got blessed last year. And I kind of took it back. You know, if anybody from Columbia, you know, like back in the day when we were a little bit younger, like the premier basketball league in Columbia when you were younger, from about 12 from about 7 to 12 was VV Reed.
Yeah.
You know, if you was really like that and you played basketball, you played at VV Reed.
Right.
So it's like, so last year we went back to VV Reed.
Yeah.
I feel like it was the best thing to do in timing wise while we could.
Right.
Was it just like, let's go back in the community.
Yeah. That's fine.
And touch the community.
Yeah.
And do that in the community because for one, 2 things. That's where we at. And we gotta always, like, one thing, we want to always feel comfortable where we at.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I understand the culture of basketball.
Right.
So it's just like, and I understand the culture of our people. I've been around a long time. I know a lot of people. So we move around.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, okay, let's go. Yeah, you know, we smack dab in the city.
Right.
Right off Fair Road, top of Greenview.
Yeah.
We had the Met League because I felt like we were in a space where we created an atmosphere where we don't necessarily have to deal with the extra stuff.
Got you.
Because people love the basketball.
Yeah.
And it's a community environment where
And
you
the
bring the
people.
kids and the people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's.
And so it's just like, you know, when we came to creating the Met League, it was just like, okay, they had, you know, we weren't the only program that exists. You know, they had the other program. You know, they did a great job with the other program, but being somebody that played basketball in Columbia from 5 until I was grown, it was just one of those things where I understand the culture. And it was just like that program would work, but it was just like it was missing the culture.
Right.
That's why a lot of us didn't go.
Right. I think another thing was missing as far as the culture, there's the different culture of like the culture of different zip codes. Like, 'cause you know how we used to like, we'll go to Meadow Lake. We'll go to Killian.
Yeah.
We go to different
neighborhoods. Exactly.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
you play basketball, we might be at,
yeah.
you know, I'm from the other side.
Yeah.
We at Killian, but then we might go to Meadow Lake.
Then we might go to Coffin Road.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we know we really know hoopers.
Yeah, and I know that because just like I always lived on District 2 side,
Right.
but I spent all my summers at Greenview Park.
Right.
So that's how I meshed back
Right, that's
together.
what I'm saying, yeah.
And so it was just like, I was just like, you know, when I went off to school, you know, one thing I used to do when I was in school, you know, I used to promote.
Right.
So we used to do parties and whatnot. So I was just like, I brought everything back full circle. It was just like, how can a way, you know, we can create an atmosphere that creates, like I call it, therapeutic recreation for the community.
Right.
You know, and I say it in that terminology because, you know, I got a degree in psychology. So I wanted to create an atmosphere where we can come out and have a good time and see everybody and it not be too much.
Not too much. Just enough.
Just
a competitive edge.
Just enough.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, my thing was, my expert was already played a certain level of basketball. So I know how to create high level basketball.
Right.
So even when we started the Met League, I was just like, one of those people, like, I know all the basketball players because I played basketball.
Right.
So it was just like, that was one thing I never had to worry about.
Right.
So the rest part came into play because I had been doing events and stuff like that for so long and curating different stuff. So now it's just the atmosphere.
Right. That's fire.
So when you come to the Met League, you know, like, you have a good time.
Yeah.
Everybody, you bring the kids, you can bring your grandmama, you can bring the pastor, you can bring your auntie, anybody.
Yeah, it's like a cookout.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy you say that because that's what I like when we talk to the DJs.
Yeah.
That's what I tell the DJs, like, we want cookout vibe.
Yeah. Hell yes.
We want cookout vibe.
Yeah. Just like them, like it's like back in them day when you used to go to them certain parts that had like the baseball field.
Yeah.
You know, on a Sunday too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then especially like in the project, you know, you got that one guy that's bringing the big dog. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So it's just like you want to create one of those atmospheres.
It's more of the grown.
And I think like it was needed for us because we got to be able to control us.
Right.
And that's the only way everybody else in the community gonna respect what we got going on.
Right.
And so that was one of my things. Like, I'm big in particular on that.
Right.
When it comes to like the Met League, it's just like, and even the atmosphere in a sense, like we got something good going. So sometimes we gotta police ourselves.
Oh yeah, for shit show.
So you gotta police ourselves because if we don't, we get too comfortable and we do extra stuff.
Yeah.
And we got something good going where it's gonna benefit the community. And we in a space where, like I tell people, like, in the gap that we picked up, we're in a space where South Carolina has become a marquee market for basketball.
Oh yeah. You know,
and it's become a marquee market for the culture in general.
Yeah.
Everything is starting to come back full circle from the events and everything. So it's just like, let's do something that's gonna impact the community. And I'm big on doing stuff that you ain't gotta recreate.
Right.
So it's just like, I've been doing it so long, like we not doing nothing that we can't annually recreate.
Got you. I feel you.
So that's how it was with that. And it's just like, we built the team from Noble.
Right.
Noble was kind of player acquisition. We got I Am Royalty. She control the media.
Right.
She know what it looked like. She can capture the moments. We got Sharon. He's kind of community liaison. And then we got my guy we just brought on last year, George Bryant, as VP of operations.
Okay.
So it's just like, we got a home team where it's just like everybody understand what to expect when you go to the Met League now.
Yeah. But that's the good part about it, because like when you said that, bro, about the police part and basically holding people accountable, and like you said, you know, and meeting and, you know, networking and meeting people during the whole time, and, you know, you've been living, it's a beautiful thing, bro, because it's like, when you can like have faith in the people that you know you bring, and then like you said, like now we bringing, like, you know, like you said, like we bringing Gigi, we bringing other people that's in the NBA, they want to spend time with the community.
These guys are endorsing what's going on,
exactly.
And from a business standpoint, for us to have longevity, we got to keep it clean.
Right.
That's why we got to police ourselves, because it's just like, if we can't control ourselves, well, how can we expect anybody else to respect what we got going on as a community?
Right.
And so that's what I try to make sure we like adhere. Like, we're not really here for all that. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna see great basketball.
Yeah.
You're gonna see high level basketball.
Right.
But you're gonna have a good time too.
Yeah. Got to. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna have a good time.
And that's the part of, you know, building the community. And I'm glad you're going to like different sessions too, and then going to like the roots, like you went back to roots.
Yeah. Why we had the chance
good for
to.
you too, you know what I'm saying?
No, and it's crazy because I say that because until that moment where we booked that gym, I hadn't been back to VV Reed since I was 11 years old. I'm 35 now.
Right.
So just naturally, just even pulling up and parking. I went there by myself the first time. Pulling up and parking, like when I walked in, I damn near like teared up because they look exactly the same.
Right.
It just bring back.
That's what I said, bro.
It brought me back, and it's just like, and I felt like one thing vision wise, we always wanted to do with the Met League was create. I made it since I've been around in Columbia all this time, since the basketball culture created.
Yeah.
I'm one of the older guys.
Right.
I always wanted to figure out a way to tell the story in it too. So that's where VV Reed played in. So it's just like, that's where a lot of stuff play in. I even want to be able to tell the story and really impact the community in a different way. Because you're gonna see this year we got some more stuff. We got some more stuff planned. We're gonna impact the community a little bit more.
So what that was important to you? Was it personal or just more of an understanding like what what it takes to have that community service of doing it for the people, or it was a little bit both of
It was both.
Got you.
It was personal because it was just like I grew up there,
Right.
and it's just like when I went to Morehouse in Atlanta, like one of the main things like they put into you is like community. It's just like as black men, as black women, as black people pushing a different narrative or just like trying to build the community, we gotta understand like that's what they taught us, just like impacting your community.
Right.
None of it matters nowhere what trajectory you have or what success or greatness you reach.
Right.
If you don't reach back to the foundation that helped create you,
Right.
what's the point?
Right. Especially if it definitely created you.
Exactly. And that's why I feel like, so when it comes to the Met League, that's how I feel like, because it was just like I'm the oldest, single parent household, 3 boys. It was just like basketball was my first friend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and girlfriend.
Exactly. That was my first everything.
You know what I'm saying?
And so it's just like if it wasn't for basketball, a lot of people that I know, I wouldn't even knew.
No, yes.
Yeah, basketball opened so many doors in a sense of from playing basketball in Columbia, from playing on the different AU teams, from playing for the Slammers, from even going to college and playing basketball in the gym. That's how I met my friends and met the people that I still do business with to this day.
Right.
So basketball was a tool that was just like, basketball was one of those things in my life that's not replaceable.
Right.
It changed my life. And so it was just that one of those things. I played basketball. It was just like, I was just a little bit better at other things too.
Right.
And so it was just like, when you get to college, it's just like, okay, if we grew up in a time when I was growing up, it was just like, if you don't go D1,
Yeah.
we ain't really know too much about the JUCO lane or none of that. So it's just like, but I was always, basketball was just it was always a tool for me.
Right.
Because I was always better at doing other things. So it was just like, as you get older, and then people know if you really play basketball, as you matriculate through your career in basketball, it's just like, it turns more into politics than basketball.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, I was just at a stance, like, when I went to college, I was like, man, I didn't.
And it got worse now when it comes to like, cause like,
Yeah.
back in the day it was more like, not in the, when I say this, like, when you really think about it, like basketball was like a poor sport. Like now, like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Exactly.
Now that's another thing I want to talk about. Like when it comes to like basketball and like when kids, and especially I hate when the NBA players do it too as well, or people talk about the league soft and all that. It's a bunch of suburb kids now. Majority is hooping, and it's the NBA kids, and they be calling it soft. Like these are your kids that's in the league now.
Yeah, but I think it's all just subjective.
Yeah.
Because people call it soft,
but it's the rules. It's not them.
it's not even the rules. Like, they altered the gameplay and the rules for entertainment purposes. So it's only naturally, when you have all these freak of athletes, it's only naturally you start gearing the game towards the offense end, because that's the show.
They did it in the 90s. Man, go back in the day, in the 80s, you can knock them down before they dunk. They didn't realize that dunking is a marketing thing. Now you can knock them down as a
But,
now you get suspended. Now you get a fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the difference is, see, that's a good thing about where we from, though. See, where we from, that type basketball don't exist.
Right.
So, it's just like, I say South Carolina's a marquee market for basketball, because how we play basketball down here, it translates everywhere.
Yeah.
Because we going to play hard.
Yeah.
We going to talk shit.
Oh, yeah.
And we going to still have the finesse, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So it's just like our style of play is kind of like, it's a bully finesse game.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it works for who it works for.
Yeah.
Some people believe in it, some people, because you got some teams that they be on that.
Right.
And then some teams might be more agile and skilled. It's just people just like to call it soft.
Yeah.
And most of the people that call it soft is the people that ain't got no moves.
Right, no moves.
And none of that.
None
They
of
can't,
that, bro.
exactly.
No
so it's
moves,
just
bro.
like, that's why I say it's subjective. So it's just like, you come to the Met League, it ain't soft at the Met League, though.
Right.
Because we going to come to the Met League, we calling grown man fouls.
Yeah.
And we playing real
Y'all
basketball.
hit them now. Grown man foul. Y'all want to get in this league?
Yeah,
you know
we were
what
playing
I'm
grown man fouls.
Yes, sir.
Even when we started the Bet League, the Bet League is first, it was just like, I used to say it like this. I tell people all the time, like, our trajectory for the Met League since day one, we've been saying East Coast versus the Drew League. We don't even got to say that no more, because it's the Met League now.
Right.
But the whole thing was, I used to tell people all the time, like, when we first started the league, everybody was kind of a little skeptical. We live in a city where everybody think they can hoop and X, Y, Z. And so it's just like, I tell people all the time, I say it's the Met League. You know, this ain't a men's league.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these guys really play basketball for real.
For real.
So I say, when you say you play basketball, XOZ, it's whole different when you get out there with them young guys that can jump, they can fly, and they can run. We got the shot clock going. It's a whole different ball game.
Especially that running.
And that's the one thing, like, I wanted to do. Like, we have a lot of great basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to, like, bring, like, high-level basketball
Got you.
to the summertime.
Got you.
And that's what we got.
Yeah. And shit fire, bro. So I gotta put pressure on you now. It's two questions. The first one is, it ain't gotta be no order. Who the top 5 players in your Met League? Yeah.
Yeah. And you brought with that one. You know what's funny? A lot of people go, hey, you know what? I'm gonna say, I ain't gonna do top 5, but I'm gonna name one person as the guy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Damn, the other
No. We gonna do the other
I'm
phone.
doing my
But
Charlamagne the God.
I'm gonna do
Charlamagne the God.
I'm gonna do the MVP.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you had to say, like, since year 1, who is the guy that showed up and put on a show every time? Asante.
Okay. All right. Who do you think gonna be in the championship game this year?
I'm gonna name the other notable players
Okay,
too.
go ahead.
Because like, you got Asante.
Mm-hmm.
You got people like Key Hilton from Sumter.
Oh yeah.
You got when GG come through, when PJ come through,
Boardman.
when Tevin come through.
Yeah.
It's just like,
We got hoopers, bro.
exactly. I feel like when you say, like, everybody like that I named, and it's more people.
Yeah.
EJ,
Right.
the hometown guy.
Oh, yeah.
EJ,
No, EJ.
JJ.
Yeah.
You know, everybody. I feel like everybody have, like, they moments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, one thing that I do when I make the schedule is I'm making the schedule for the show.
Yeah. So you like the UFC type shit.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm
You like
putting
Dana White type
Yeah.
shit?
I wasn't raised
Not
like that.
Boston type shit.
Yeah, I ain't
Going on.
raised like that.
Nah.
We ain't trying to
Build it up now. Let's
analytically
go.
put a matchup together. No, we
Yeah.
putting the dogs
Yeah.
against the dogs.
Oh, yeah,
That's what
yeah.
they want to do, and that's
Right.
what everybody want to see.
Right.
So we ain't ducking no smoke with nobody.
Hell yeah.
And so that's what I do every week. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a guy on this side. It's gonna be on guy this side. And so you name those guys, and then it's always one thing about the Met League in basketball. Every year it's a guy that nobody knew nothing about that come in and put on the show.
Put on a damn show.
And we got new teams and new players coming every year. So it's just like, but yeah, it's just like, I say Asante, consistent. No matter where people are in their careers or whatever they at, they know when he walk in the gym,
Yeah. You better handle business.
because it's all on him.
Yeah.
He gonna show up every time. Now, when you say, we fast forward to the next question.
Yeah.
When we say who gonna win the Met League this year,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who you got in the championship?
I don't got nobody in the
Nobody?
championship, because this is the catch, right?
Cause when I get paid,
No.
they gonna talk their shit.
Yeah. I tell them the same thing.
Yeah,
It's just
tell
like, nobody has ever repeated.
Right. Okay.
That's the reality. That
Yeah.
we going into year 4. Nobody has
Right,
ever
right,
repeated.
okay.
And it's the catch 22, like I tell
'Cause
everybody.
everybody approved though, right? Right. So that's why people don't understand, like, when it comes to, like, championships too. Like, that's why, like, when, like, Shaq, I think, like, LeBron and all them be saying, like, even though we won this year, we can't settle for what we did last year. We gotta
It's not.
improve the next
It's not.
year.
Yeah, and it's not even selling. It's just like the formula that worked last year might not work this
and
year.
now the pressure's really on you because you just won.
Yeah, and then the catch 22 is just like everybody putting it together. And like I tell everybody, the Met League start off 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You have some teams that look great week
Yeah.
1, week 2. See, the catch 22 about winning the Met League is if you got them guys, that's them guys to show up when it's playoff Sunday.
Yeah.
They show up week 1, might not help you.
Yeah.
Week 2, see, what happened with Pay was Pay didn't get it together until the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what he said.
They didn't.
Yeah, what he said. He said we didn't get it together to the playoffs.
You got a lot of head honchos on the team.
Yeah.
So it's either gonna work, it's gonna barbecue, or it's gonna mildew.
Yeah.
And so you either gonna catch the matchup or you're not. And then it's just like I say, like, you never know who gonna have what type of summer.
So when it comes to, do y'all do everything besides just like the championship, like MVPs or anything like that? Or y'all work
Yeah,
on that?
we do MVP.
MVPs, what y'all do?
Oh,
What's
why it's on my mind. I ain't
Go
gonna
ahead,
pause.
go ahead,
I'm
do
gonna
your
go
thing.
throw this out
Go
there
ahead, throw it
because if
out.
I don't mention him, he gonna kill me.
Yeah.
So I named the rest of the team.
Uh-huh.
I can't forget. Coach Cam, the voice.
Got you. Okay.
I can't the voice of the Met League.
Got you.
You know, that was my guy since year one. We kind of just, you know, he was kind of in that space where he kind of go that route with the hosting and stuff like that. And I said, bro, go do your thing.
Yeah.
And so now we in the, you know, they expecting him. So you got him,
Yeah.
you got my boy Troy.
Right.
And that's one thing, like, and a reason why I roll that back and say that because is this is gonna be on topic, but it's gonna be because we talk about sports and we talk about teams and stuff like that, you know. As men, we kind of sometimes when we doing stuff, we get in tunnel vision.
Yeah.
You know, being as when I say the Mr. Met League, being that I'm the person that kind of control the vision.
Yeah.
You know, as a leader and as a man, you got to understand, you know, you got to be accountable and make sure you appreciate the people that help you publicly.
Yes.
Publicly.
Yes.
And so that's why I go back to say, like, I am royalty. Will, Cam the voice, my guy Troy, my guy George, Pretty Baked Nieces that did the canteen because without that lemonade and without that canteen and people come to the Met League and expect certain food. They come into the Met League, they expecting certain things. So it was just like
without the one with the other, kind of like
everybody wash each other's hands.
Right.
And you know, we kind of built the team that way.
Got you.
So it's just like everybody kind of focus on do what they do. Great.
Yeah.
Cause I got in trouble for this early.
You did?
You know, like no, because it's just like I'm so being the oldest in the way I grew up. I'm so used to like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And it's just like I was never really a like. As men, you know, we not real good communicators.
Right.
Like unless we really had somebody talk to us and teach us how to communicate, we're not really communicators.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
something you got to learn.
you have to learn that. And you know, a lot of us, we don't really learn that until we start dealing with women and falling in love and our feelings and stuff like that.
Right.
That's when you learn communication because you don't got no choice but to.
Right.
So as men and as leaders, you know, I try to understand, like, I try to make sure now that like I appreciate the people that's around that actually, because I'm not the only one that make this happen.
Oh yeah, shit, sure.
I might be the vision and the brains of the person that created brand, but I'm not the arms and the legs.
Yeah.
I'm just the head.
Yeah, I'm the same way too, bro. Like when it comes to my podcast, when people say I'm doing my thing, I always give a shout out to Prime Ted, OG P Rose, OG Loyalty, who I told you earlier.
Yeah.
I always give them a shout out publicly, like, because, you know, if it wasn't for them, this won't.
The vision wouldn't even have came together.
Right.
Exactly. And that's why if you peek back at you, after you get back to edit it, you'll see when I was talking, you know, sometimes I make sure I try to change the I pronoun to we.
We, got you.
Because we don't do nothing by ourselves.
Facts.
No matter how much we think we do, we never have ever did anything by ourselves.
Never.
And so that's when, like, so, you know, and then the community, the biggest part of the team is the community.
Facts. Hell yeah. That's what's
and
up.
So that's and it's just like, so, you know, we try to always, like, my vision had always been, so it's just like I get in trouble with that because I'm a vision person. And so, like, I'm one of those people, like, if I got a vision, I don't never really deter from that vision.
Right.
I probably be on that and I'm just trying to break it down. And I might disappear.
Yeah.
Because I'm a visionary type person.
Got
And
it.
until I feel like I figure out the vision, I can't really, like,
Focus on other things.
pitch it or bring it to the team.
Right.
So it's just like I get in that mindset, but you know, as you grow and as things grow, you got to be more deliberate with communication because
somebody might spark another idea with you. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly. So you got to bounce off. So it's just like as we grow, you know, so it's just like we walk into this summer, you know, we try to, how can we be more community oriented?
Right.
So this summer we're going to implement August 4th through the 8th, the location to drop on the page. We're going to do a free kids camp.
Got you.
from August 4th through the 8th. You know, that's going to lead up until
Wow.
our playoff Sunday, which is our Community Kids Day, where we do our back to school situation and stuff like that. We're going to do a free kids camp. We got enough basketball players and the basketball knowledge and enough touch with the community where I feel like we had the access to give back to the community.
Right.
You know, like I grew up in the homes, you got single mothers. You know, they need something for the kids to do.
Yeah.
So you can come from 9 to 4, you can come, they can learn basketball, we're going to feed them.
Right.
And we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
And so we got that. We're also implementing the For Love of the Game Classic. That's gonna be the high school showcase game.
Okay.
So we're gonna implement the high school guys.
Gotcha. I just talked to Olivia because she do some hoopology. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So she help them out with the marketing scheme. 'Cause, you know, they on their 25th
Yeah,
for men, the 20th for the women. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So I'm just so proud of y'all, man. Especially because of this, especially basketball, because basketball brings people together. And regardless of the differences, and sometimes you don't care. You just care about watching some basketball. Sometimes you just need to get away from the crib and just scream and yell at the, just like, yeah, get it together, nigga, get it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, you need that because it's just like you want to feel like how I say, like with the Met League, the atmosphere. That's what we try to create, like when a family. I say family atmosphere because when you want in there, I want you to come in there and feel love.
Right.
And that's the thing, and like that's the atmosphere we want to create.
Right.
So that's how we move and operate with it. Like I tell everybody, we pop it a little bit. Starting next Sunday, July 6th.
Yeah, July 6th.
For 7 weeks straight, ain't nothing going on Sundays.
Right. Nothing.
It's Met League Sundays, the biggest show on earth on this side of the equator.
Right.
Ain't nothing else going on.
Right.
You're going to get high level basketball. You're going to get good food. You're going to get good conversations. And the best thing about it is going to community. You're going to be able to connect with people you ain't seen in a long time. And it's going to all be love.
Right. So do you ever just sit back and just watch and be like, or you still be tunnel vision?
No. See, I'm glad you asked that.
Uh-huh.
So that's part of growing the team.
Yeah.
So part of what I did last year was I kind of developed more of the team. And what I did last year was I took a back seat last year. Everybody was in position. We kind of was on autopilot, put certain people in certain positions where I can kind of like
breathe.
That you saw? I just took a breath. Yeah. Literally. But that's part of the team aspect too,
Yeah.
because that's what my team tell me. It's just like, Gavin, we here for you.
Yeah.
We know you get in that mode, but it's just like we here to help you breathe.
Yeah.
And so it's just like last year was one of those things where I got to figure out a way where we can get this rolling. And I don't necessarily have to. Everybody is in a position. Everybody know what's going on to a point where I don't feel like I gotta grab everything by the hand.
Yeah.
And so it's just like last year I'm more because as a person with a vision, the only way to grow the vision is for me to now take a back seat and see what we created.
Yeah, you got to.
And so that's
that takes time and work. You know what I'm saying? Once you got something and you see it's going and that wheel is rolling, you know what I'm saying? That's when you
Cause and the reason I did that purposely because this just the beginning.
Right.
This just the beginning.
Just the beginning.
I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we trying to like when I'm saying just the beginning, like since we started year 1, we was already on year 5 playing.
Mm-hmm.
Year 5 playing.
Yeah.
Like year 5, we going into year 4.
Exactly.
There's no telling what's gonna happen next summer.
Yeah.
But as year 5 go, we in a position where I feel like we got enough athletes and we in a place where we kind of controlling the dynamic right now. So it's just like year 5, you never know. We might have a South Carolina TBT team.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of been we've been brainstorming.
Talk about face,
Yeah. We've been brainstorming. It ain't the first time the conversation came up. So God, if that's part of God's plan,
right?
Because even when we tried to do it previously, it was more or less like, I sat back and was like, yeah, we could press the button right now. But I say if we press the button, the Met League need another year.
Yeah. Right, and you don't want that shit to collapse in a certain way.
You got to understand, you got to pay homage and respect to what opened the door.
Right.
And so that's what it is. It's like the Met League needed another year because it's just like now we're in a space where we can impact the culture.
That's fire, bro. Because especially like when you doing what you're doing, and you do your study of the players and find them elites for the TBT. You know what I'm saying? Because like when Eric Washington.
I know. See, yeah, but
he was in that thing. He was
but that's the catch though. That's why I say that's why gear it towards. I say it because it's just you gotta think about it like that. Prime example, Eric Washington.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to EY.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dylan. Congrats on the
Yeah,
championship.
shout out to E. Washington Dillon. Like I've known them since they was little.
When he was just dribbling the ball slow, Eric, when he was just dribbling the ball like
Yeah,
this, you know what
I
I'm
knew
saying?
them since they was little.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
then they even a little boy. I knew Dylan since he was running around with
Yeah.
the snotted,
Oh, yeah, that's
running
what I'm
around in Eric AU games since the Slammers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I remember all that. So in my thing is just like full circle is just like, so when you talk about TBT, that's what made me come up with the idea, because you got to think about it. Nobody else has had consistent players play in the semifinals and the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Washington on TBT.
Right.
So you think about guys like that, then you add guys like Tevin, then you think about all our other guys. We got so many guys.
many.
It's just like with the Met League, you understand like we got enough talent, we don't have to look for none.
Right.
A lot of places can't
Right.
say that.
Right.
And we ain't talking about we doing an alumni team or none of that. We talking about people that's from this area.
Yeah.
We got enough people, and it was just like that was just another way to push the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like as the Met League grow, you know, we like I say, high school showcase game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're in a space now where we got circuit AAU teams.
Mm-hmm.
Only way to impact the community more is you have to impact the youth that's transitioning.
Got to.
So these same guys that's gonna play in these games, these are future Met Leaguers.
Exactly. Same thing when you do the camp. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
When you see them little Dylans, them little
You're gonna see those little kids, and next thing you know, 10 years from now, you're gonna look up and be like, oh, you.
right, they're gonna come to you. Hey man, you help me out. You know what I'm saying?
But it's just all about impact, because it's just like, you know, basketball might not always like get the right stigma, but basketball is probably the most loved sport in the city.
Oh yeah.
In the city.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for shit show.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It might not get the recognition because the demographic or the people that it brings out per se community wise.
Yeah.
Because you know that's gonna always be the stigma.
Right.
But the reality of it is just like you could just grab that ball and everything could change.
Yeah, but I think it's perfect timing though when it comes to our community, because we saw the good and the bad of like when it came to our OGs, how like it really did that. We kind of could see how it could go good, bad.
It was a lot of groundwork.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, so when you see these guys go to the next level, when you see people like a Colin Murray Bowles go number 9 in the NBA draft, that's after a year before having 2 other guys go in the go first and second round of the draft. The year before that, you got 2-3 people. So when you start to see that, you understand like, and it's great to see as older, because just like you can see like, okay, now you can see the foundation. It was a lot of foundation. It's a lot of history when it comes to this basketball.
Yeah, man.
So when we talk about Greenview Park, I'm talking about Greenview Park when they had the
wood flow, the little had the little,
not even the wood floors, when they had the little plastic little square floors.
Yeah.
When they used to put when they used
one rim was kind of messed up.
and when they used to take the little goal and
Yeah.
put it on top of the big goal.
I remember. Hell
Yeah. From them type days. So it's just like when you see like the community from a basketball standpoint really evolve to the point where you got 2 teams. Just last year you had 2 teams from not even 10 miles from each other playing in the state championship. Then you look at what everybody doing. You look at the Keenans. Through all this time, still relevant.
Consistent.
But then you look at the new juggernauts. When you look at Ridgeview,
Yeah.
Blythewood, Westwood,
Yeah. Or even the girls, Eau Claire now. You know what
Eau
I'm saying?
Claire, the girls. Then you see what's brewing over there at Dreer. And you see this because a lot of times it's everything has came full circle now that we done got older.
Right, definitely got older. And like I said, we understand what we didn't have.
Exactly.
What we
And
didn't
we
have.
bring a knowledge to the kids that they don't have. And we're in an age gap where the kids are receptible to what we're talking about.
Yeah. And then another thing too, I want to give a shout out to these assistant coaches, because like they really be on the grind, bro. Like really out here doing the training, off season type stuff. I'm talking about really.
That's why I say like, so when you think about, when you talk about Columbia basketball, we talking about from a systematic standpoint, from when you go down from the Christian Savages, the Rod Roses, the Khadijas, the Dre Sweats,
Mm-hmm.
the Chris Bullwares. I'm probably missing it. Will Noble with the training.
Yeah.
You know,
Beast mode.
Beast Mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to all these from the system from that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's built from, and that's what people not understanding. Like we're at a space now where it's really like these kids really got an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to really make that dream a reality now.
Right. Yes.
And we live in a time and age is just like, even with the Met League, getting those guys in there that's the guys is great for the kids.
Yeah.
Because we live in a time where kids only like, with social media, like,
Be in the crib.
if it's not tangible,
Yeah.
when I can't visibly see it,
Yeah.
it's not real.
Right. Got you.
So you can't, back in the day, an OG could tell us a story and we might tell that story to 12 people.
Yeah.
These days, seeing is believing.
Oh yeah.
And we in a time where a lot of stuff is tangible to kids, so it's just like, this how everybody's way of giving back.
Right.
This everybody's way of giving back with the basketball.
Yeah.
Because even the guys that's not the guys, you know how many people that became friends just by going to free play at the gym.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I love it too because at the end of the day, when the Met League going on, it's another way to keep the kids out the street.
Oh yeah. Definitely, man.
Keep people for a couple hours. It might change somebody. Them couple hours might decide.
Spark something. Mm-hmm.
So that's just like we get to that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go past this without saying it's just like rest in peace to Samaje.
Yeah.
Even him, he's been around since year one. Just like Paid won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big part of that. He's a
Right.
big part of the Met League, period.
Right.
So it's just like when you understand impact and what's going on, it's just like we are really in a space where it's bigger than us.
Right. Right.
And we got to handle it like that.
Right.
So it's bigger than just saying, oh, like I tell people all the time, we ain't just opening the doors and saying, oh, we got games.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah. Culture.
It's bigger than that. We're trying to impact the culture. We're trying to impact the youth. We're trying to impact the
Unity.
kids. And we're trying to do all that with a tool that you could buy, get
Right.
from the store for $10.
Exactly. That's a fact, bro, because I'm glad you said that because I like how when you think about everything or more of a family aspect of the event, the food got to be there, good food.
The community aspect matters more to me
Yeah.
than the basketball.
Yeah.
Because the basketball is a given.
Right.
And that's why I say, you're going to see me say that, switch the pronouns, not
Yeah.
I.
Yeah.
We.
Talk your shit.
We want people to come in the Met League and want it to be an experience.
Right.
So when you go back and look at the footage, people ain't got to tell you they had a good time.
Right. You just see it.
You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel it.
Right. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
You can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the atmosphere we wanted. That's the atmosphere we wanted to create. We wanted you to feel it.
Mm.
When you come in there, you wanted to feel like home.
Right.
It's like it ain't nothing else like how I say it.
Or that backyard cookout with the slides and basketball goal over there. They kids playing football.
Yeah.
Hang with the ball. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Got the grown people hanging with the grown people as far as like, got the little spots. but
Yeah.
Just everything. Still unity.
I could tell grandma. I could tell my mama to pull up.
Yeah.
I could tell my cousin that just had the baby to pull up.
Mm-hmm.
You could bring your homeboy. You could bring your sister. You could bring your little cousin.
Mhm.
Anybody at the house, you trying to do something,
Right.
you can bring them like you taking them to the park.
Exactly.
That's the type of atmosphere we wanted to create.
And you have, bro.
And because that's what we need.
Mm.
And we need that as a community so we can understand that we can have that type of atmosphere without the other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to understand too, like it's just like if we want stuff to grow for us to do in the community, we got to treat it with care and love like
Right.
it's ours.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
it's all ours.
Yeah. You got to protect it.
We got to protect it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, that's why certain things are done and certain measures just like, because we want to be having this Met League conversation 20
Mhm.
years from now.
Got you.
Just like Hoopology that made their impact
Yeah.
in community.
Right. Shout out to
We want
Hoopology.
shout out to Hoopology and shout out to the young guys, the Hoop Ship.
Yeah.
The young guys paving the way to do, that's the new generation
Right.
of the Hoopology family.
Mhm.
So shout out to them too. It's just like everybody, basketball has changed so many people's lives in this community. And it's great to see everybody using the tool and the game to give back.
Mm-hmm.
Because we ain't necessarily had that when we was growing up.
Nah,
We didn't have that.
nah, we didn't. Because we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what, like, when it comes to, like, we like, when, especially like in like our neighborhoods and things like that, we didn't know about, when you went to Georgia, you know what I'm saying? You had a different lens to see because you zoomed out. You're not in your city zooming in and being worried
Yeah,
about you.
and and I've always been one of those people like, and I say it this way because I've always been one of those people, like anybody that know me, I've always been one of those people that's just like, I've always chased my vision.
Mm-hmm.
I never really was a person like, people gonna know I'm a type person like, if I ain't with it, I'm gonna tell you I ain't with it.
Yeah.
And if I ain't feel some type of way, I'm gonna tell you I feel some type of way.
Right.
I'm one of those people like, the same reason you love me, it might be the same reason somebody hate me.
Right.
And I'm just a straightforward person if I go with how I feel.
Yeah.
So it's just like when I do certain things, I'm in a space where even when it came to going to school in Atlanta, we talking about, I'm coming from Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about going to the A. I was going to Howard.
Right.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people act like they don't want to say the name, but I was going to Howard. I was finna come, no pun intended.
Right.
I was thinking Diddy.
Right.
That's the type of space I was in, is just far as the atmosphere and the culture type person.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I want to go be a mogul.
Right. Got you.
I had to come at it a different way though.
Mm-hmm.
So even with like, and I credit that to my mama, because even with the Morehouse situation, I got accepted to Howard. I accepted about the 12 schools because I was a great student.
Right.
That's why my vision was always bigger.
Right.
Because it's just like, I understand basketball was the only resource somebody had.
Mm-hmm.
This was my biggest resource.
Right. Got you.
So even when I said I was going, I didn't choose to go to Morehouse. Morehouse was one of those things where that letter came and my mama kind of like convinced me to go.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about we going to the A, all boys school. I'm not knowing nothing about
Yeah.
that setup.
Yeah.
Cause I've been here my whole life.
Yeah. You just think
College was my flight. My ticket out of here.
Yeah.
Cause everybody would be like, I'm going to state.
Yeah.
No disrespect to state and all that. But me personally, and my mindset was, I said, it's gonna be like going to a high school reunion.
Right.
I can come back and see them on the weekend. I ain't going to no school with everybody already been in school. Yeah. So, and I said, everybody don't have this opportunity.
Right.
So I said, I've always been a person like, create opportunities.
Some people scared to be uncomfortable.
And see, and some people, exactly.
Yeah.
Some people scared to be uncomfortable, and it's just like, and the way I grew up, I was always uncomfortable to a
being
sense.
comfortable.
So I got comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's just like, I'm not the type person like, when pressure hit, some people flight.
Yeah.
I'm standing in the paint.
Right.
Because I know it's something on the other side.
You're going to learn.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's just like, my mom from Greenwood. So she was big on Benjamin E. Mays.
Okay.
Benjamin E. Mays is Martin Luther King's mentor.
Okay.
So that's how she was like, you know what? This how she did it though. She was like, we're gonna go take a visit. She knew I played basketball, ran track, played football. She said, we're gonna go talk to the coaches. So I go up there, take my coach 1-2. I was gonna probably be a preferred walk-on.
Mm-hmm.
So we went up there 1-2. I'm not understanding what's going on. When I get there, that's when it clicks. Because a lot of people don't understand, like, they'd be like, all boys school.
Yeah.
See, but that's not, it's more to that.
You was here though. Yeah, you was here. You wasn't here. You know what I'm saying? You was here. Right.
So I made this decision.
Yeah.
I said, okay, bet. So we went there. And so a lot of people don't understand, it's like, it was 3 schools in one.
Explain that.
Okay. So you got Morehouse, you got Spelman, you got Clark.
Mm-hmm.
So if you was to create a triangle, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's Morehouse, there's Spelman, there's Clark.
Got you.
In the middle, that's what we call the promenade. That's the
Okay.
strip that connect all the schools.
Gotcha.
See, what people don't understand is up there they got a thing called the Atlanta University Center. What that means is that's the umbrella name for all 3 of the schools.
Got you.
So, but even though I go to school at Morehouse,
Yeah.
I could take classes at Spelman.
Wow. Okay.
Even though I go to school at Morehouse, I could take classes at Clark, vice versa for every school. Most of our professors was adjunct.
Right.
So they taught at all the schools.
Gotcha.
And because we was in the AUC, we all shared the same library. So that's how the schools would say it's really 3 schools in one. And then at that time, Morris Brown is part of the AUC too. But at that time, Morris Brown was dormant at that time.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah. So you really unlocked something you didn't even know you unlocked. And then it was just like, in my trajectory, it was just like, okay, I'm the oldest of 3. So I'm always been at a point where like, the only example I can set is pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
And that was a way to push the envelope.
Right.
Nobody else was doing nothing like that. So that was my way of pushing the envelope. So it was just like, when I did that, I was like, oh, okay, I made the right decision. Because that changed everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you want to be great, you can't avoid being uncomfortable.
Right.
You gotta go where the greats at.
Yeah.
And so when I say at that time, around that time, I think, around that time, that's when College Hill was out.
Oh yeah.
Baldwin Hills.
Talking about
Virgin College Hill, the one they did in Atlanta.
They did one.
Yeah.
The crazy one was in what Tim Duncan from? It was like an island. I forgot. That's the one where the girl smashed it with the
The College Hills and all that. And this around the time, and so like, the only thing I ever knew about Morehouse was that Martin Luther King went there. Benjamin E. Mays. It's a historic black school, all male black school, and that was about it.
Right.
But when I got there, I realized it was something totally different, because it was one of those things where it was a place where it was no other place a black man can go to learn how to be a successful black man in this society.
Right.
From the way we perceive. So it was power in that.
Gotcha.
So it was just like, because I understood what was coming next.
Right.
And so it was just like, I did that, and I went out there, and it was just like, you go out there the first time, like, I'm a kid from Columbia. I'm going out to school. Like, most of the people that I'm going to school with, they ain't got the same problems. There's a few people I know that got the financial problems that I got coming from the background that I come from as far as financially. So, but a lot of those kids, like, I'm going to school with L.A. Reid's son, J.L. Levert's son, the motherfuckers, everybody, celebrity, doctors, lawyers' son. So they ain't having them issues when it comes to school. But what it did was, it didn't make me feel, at first you might be like, I'm kind of in an uncomfortable spot.
Yeah.
But after a while, it clicked quick, because I realized the stuff that I had been through in life prepared me in a space that they didn't even know what was going on.
Right.
So I actually fit right in.
Right.
And I was a person that always...
But did you fit in because you just be your authentic self too, though?
Yeah.
Because, sometimes when you went on yes man, you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm not a yes man.
So, could there be situations like you hear these names, whose son, and you like, I'm just going to ride their coattail and, whatever.
And a lot of people would be like, a lot of people would be like, no, I'll just get with these people and be their friends. I was never that type person. And the reason why I would say I feel like I was never that type person, because I ain't say I can. I ain't like I say, like, my whole life growing up, people knew me.
Right.
I grew up in a single parent home. I used to move around. I used to play sports. So I knew a lot of people my whole life.
Right. So, and you the oldest.
Yeah. So it's just like, I was never really uncomfortable. And I'm in a space where I'm confident on who I am.
Yeah.
So I'm here. So I obviously belong.
Right.
So I'm in this space like, okay, I already know how to survive.
Right.
And so it's just like, I'm in a position where these kids about to come to college and learn how to survive.
Yeah.
I'm already one step ahead. So I'm already in a space where
you're already comfortable.
I'm already comfortable. I'm already comfortable. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like, these kids they gonna get their hardships now.
Yeah.
I'm coming from, I know how it didn't feel to be in the house, no water, no lights, and trying to figure it out and just chilling it.
Right.
And like, might not have none food tonight. Mama be like, hey, go get them canned goods and go warm that corn up. And really have to like
rice and wings,
hustle and network and figure it out. That's one of the things my mama taught me best was, like,
shout out to mom.
Yeah. Be able to speak, be able to carry yourself, be a balanced person,
Mm-hmm.
and just be all around well rounded.
Explain that balance part so people will know what you mean about being balanced.
Being balanced.
Yeah.
So it's like I ain't mean to. It's like a lot of people, like a lot of times, like we'll be in a space where people will think like it's more than one thing. One thing matters more than the other.
Got you.
And so it's just like when I say balance, like, and I say this like bring this to Morehouse.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things they taught us at Morehouse was the 5 wells. It was well read, well spoken, well traveled, well dressed, and well balanced. And so when you break those things down, it's just like, okay, well balanced mean it's just like growing up in Columbia, you know, you can pick a lot of different paths.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
You can pick a lot of different paths and you can make some mistakes you can't bounce back from.
Right.
And you can do shit for self. When I say well balanced it's like I grew up in Columbia. And so like I say well balanced because I got all sides
Got you.
of everything. I done lived in Spring Valley.
Mm-hmm.
I done lived in Lake Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But I done lived in houses where we ain't never have no water.
Right.
We might not have had lights in the house. I done lived in houses where we barely trying to figure it out. I'm old enough at this point. I understand what we going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the reason why we're in this position is because my mama made a decision to, if we gonna struggle, we gonna still struggle and give ourselves the greatest opportunities possible.
Yeah.
And so it's just like when I say well balanced, it's just like I'm one of those guys where I was good at school. I was an okay athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around outside going to parties since I was in middle school.
Yeah.
So I know what's
Banana
going
Joe's
on.
and all that shit?
Banana Joe's, the teen clubs, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So I've been outside a long time, but when I say well balanced, it's because what I learned growing up was part of being balanced is being yourself.
Got you.
Being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like when I say well balanced is like I can go in a room, I know how to check the temperature in each room.
Got you. Okay.
So I can go in a room and put on a suit and stand out in that room and do that route.
Right.
I can go in a room of kids and talk to the kids.
Gotcha.
And I can go over here and talk to these guys that's on a whole different type timing and still get respect from these guys because of the way I'm coming at the situation.
Okay.
And that's why I love about the Met League because I feel like from a community standpoint, I'm in a space where I done been around enough where I have respect from everybody. And I have respect from everybody because I always moved with respect.
Got you.
I always approached it with respect and love.
Got you.
But I'm not a pushover either.
Right.
I have boundaries.
Boundaries. I was just about to say that.
Exactly. I have boundaries, and the people that know me, they know my boundaries.
And they respect the boundaries.
And respect the boundaries. Even if they don't like it.
Right.
They know that's what I'm on.
Right. My coach said this one time, it was when I was in the church league one time. And one of my homeboys, Mike, and he was like going crazy on them. He was like, listen, you ain't got to respect me, but what you're not going to do is disrespect. That's what you're not going to do.
Yeah.
And when my homeboy was like, Coach, say that one more time, Coach. You're like, listen, you ain't got to respect me. What you ain't going to do is disrespect me.
Yeah, and then what I say is, I used to tell my homeboys like college, I used to tell my homeboys just like, I don't respect disrespect.
Right.
That's just the reality of it. And so it's just like, as men, you have to learn how to move, learn how to talk, learn how to articulate. And those people are the most powerful people in the room.
Yes. I definitely agree with that.
So it's just like, and I've always been a person where I was always in a position where I had to speak up or I had to be vocal. But in a sense, my whole life, I've been groomed to turn into this person.
Yeah. I definitely know what you mean by that when it comes to have to speaking up respectfully.
Yeah.
Because some people take speaking up as disrespectfully, but I'm talking to you respectfully in a way. You know, it's like you said, your boundaries and things like that. Or even ask a certain question that people will never ask. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to like your job or certain things, like one thing when it comes to me, when we be at these meetings at my certain jobs like I used to work at or work at now, when certain things they say it's not making sense or it's like sound like BS to me, I'm a respectfully
I'm-
say it in a respectfully
Yeah.
sound like BS.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm professionally enough
Yeah,
and savvy
say-
enough
yes.
to how I say. I know how to tell you disrespecting me without
Yeah,
disrespecting you.
You're right, exactly.
But you know that you crossed the line.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like I tell people, and I understand that standpoint too, because I'm in a space like my degree in psychology. I worked in my field for 7 years, but in the last 5 years of my life, like I bet on me. So it's just like I don't work, I don't punch no clock. I don't do that. Like I really have to like. I figured I was working them 9 to 5s, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I had a 9 to 5. I had jobs, and it was just like it got to a point where everything that I had built, I was sacrificing time on that
Got you.
to be here, and so it was just like I'm spending so much time.
I'm fighting that battle now.
Yeah.
I'm fighting.
Yeah, I'm spending so much time. It's just like I'm giving so much to this.
Yeah.
But it's not really benefiting me.
Right.
And it's really not. And I'm one of those people like, remember how you say uncomfortable positions?
Yeah.
Like when I first said I was leaving my 9 to 5, you know, you talk to your mom and XYZ, you talk to people, you know, a lot of people like, they don't really like, they're not okay with that.
Right.
And they're not okay with that for the simple fact, I can't be mad because everything
That's not the norm.
that's the norm, but everything they said was justifiable. You know, it's just like you can get game from people, but some people got old game.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
And like me and my mama made a clash a certain, but I used to tell her it's just like you giving me advice that worked for you.
Right.
I know who I am and I know what I done did. So it was just like I said, and my story different from a lot of people.
Right.
Like, so when we talk about the Morehouse situation, like my college journey wasn't traditional. It took me a while to get that degree. And not on the sense of getting the work done. No, I was going to a school that cost $30,000 a year. We talking about $30,000 a year. So, and it ain't no off campus. First 2 years you gotta stay on campus. Meal plans, all $30,000 a year. You talking about somebody really wanna, so since day one of trying to chase my dreams and do it my way, it's been a it's been a battle. So it was just like, but I was okay with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Cause it's just like I'm one of those people, like I'm a solution-based person. It ain't nothing that can't be figured out. It might take a little time to figure it out. But I'm gonna break it down.
Yeah.
So even when we talking about the Met League, I did an interview, a podcast last year.
I think I saw you on that one.
GGP.
Yeah.
That was my cousin George,
Gotcha.
and Savonia and Trent. So I went on that podcast and I say like we talk about like we 20 years later and we got the Met League, but this was brewing since I was 7 years old. And so a lot of things that I was doing, it was just like I was okay with being uncomfortable because greatness comes from that. Nothing comes from being comfortable.
Right.
So I always put myself in an uncomfortable position. It was just like, even when I went to Morehouse, it was just like, once I was there and I figured out what was going on, I learned how to work my moves.
Yeah.
Because my first time, I ain't even come back to Columbia. I stayed in Atlanta. I worked my move because I understood, like, I went from here, from Columbia to Atlanta, and I made a name for myself just off being me.
Right. I was just about to say that. You was that confident, or far as that was you saying the summer, right? So that year, first, second semester, did you built relationships and network?
Yeah, I built relationship network. My homeboy DJ. So my homeboy DJ, he was going to Clark at the time. He had an apartment. He had transferred in. He was playing D1 basketball. He had went to Oak Hill. He was playing D1 basketball at a school in Tennessee, in Clarkson, Tennessee. Transferred to Clark to play. So when he transferred, this wasn't his first year. And everybody know you want to save money on tuition, you got to get a spot.
Yeah.
So he had the spot. So what ended up happening was he was there for the summer. I was back and forth. And so I was just like, man, I ain't going home. For what?
Right.
Like at this point, I'm in a space like at that point I had just started. That's when I kind of just started doing events, and I had just started moving
Trying
around.
to
So
figure it out.
and I had figured it out. And I
Okay.
figured it out Atlanta quicker than a lot of people because the first people I met was people from Atlanta.
Gotcha.
So it was just like I'm already moving around and meeting people, and it became home fast.
Got you.
It became home fast. So it was just like it was like home. So it was just like I ain't really. And then I was in a position where I was making money because I had already been out there. That's why I kind of started throwing parties and whatnot because just like shit, boy, listen to me. I'm out there. We barely getting tuition paid.
Right.
We got meal plan. Boy, listen to me. My cell phone might be off this week. My people's might not can't send that. I got $20.
Right.
You gotta make some shake.
Gotta make something motherfucking
You gotta
shake.
make some shake.
Get that damn 12-pack oodles and noodles.
Hey, listen to me. You gotta make some. Hey, listen to me. So, what Atlanta did for me was it turned my hustle up. It turned my finesse up. And so it was just like I was in a space where like, so when I fast forward to the bet on me situation, it was just that it wasn't all just confidence. It was the fact of I was confident in knowing I had put the work in. And I was confident in knowing I knew certain things and knew how to do certain things a certain way where it was an asset to me and it was an asset to other people.
Got you. That makes a lot of sense.
So that's how that transition to me doing the party stuff. That transition from the promotion stuff to the music stuff. That transition from me doing certain things, and this whole time since I went to Atlanta in 2008, it's 2025, and I'm still able to figure it out because once I got that degree, I ain't gonna lie. You might have this moment too. I went into my 9 to 5 one day, right? I was sitting there. It's probably about 8:30 in the morning, and I swear to God, I looked to the left, I looked to the right, and I'm kind of paying attention. I'm listening, and I said, you know what? If I don't do it, it ain't gonna happen. And I'm listening to people talk, and I look to the left, I look to the right. I said, these people right here, they okay with coming in this job for the next 20 years. And they ain't gonna get nothing out of it.
Right.
I said, I'm in a position right now with everything I got going on that I'm really hindering myself
Got you.
coming in here 40 hours a week because I'm trying to work around what I got going to fit this.
Yeah.
And it's clashing, and it's clashing at the wrong time. So I made a decision. I said, you know what? I said, I did what everybody else wanted me to do, right? I got the degree. You know, they tell you, go get the degree. That's going to always be your safety net. I said from that day, I say, that's cool. That degree going to be my safety net. So I know that if I make this next move, I'm finna bet on me.
Right.
I'm finna bet on me. Now, I ain't just say, I'm not just telling people to go quit their jobs.
Yeah,
No. This is what I strategically did.
Yeah.
I sat down and got the calculator. And I said, this is how much is my expenses a month I need to survive.
Not splurge, not trying to survive.
Survive.
That's what I'm saying. Let them know. Survive.
Survive.
Yeah.
This what I need to survive. I said, oh, this the number? I said, okay, bet. After I left that job, man, listen to me. One thing people will tell you, if you talk to anybody that know me, I'm about 7 people. This day, I was transporting cars. Transporting cars. I was delivering dogs. I do handyman work. I do cleaning. I do everything. But the thing about it wasn't that. It was, I said, I got enough skills and enough brains to go figure out that number.
Yeah.
Because the way I grew up, my mom taught us how to survive. And what a lot of people don't understand in this world is If you figure out how to survive, it's limitless. Your opportunities are limitless. Survival. Once you learn how to survive, everything else is child's play.
Right.
Everything else is free.
Right.
You can really push the button once you get a foundation where you can survive.
Survive. Got you. And put the work.
And that's part of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really want to put the work in.
Right. They don't want to put the work.
When you say you gonna bet on yourself, I say I got this cell phone. It's no off days, 7 days a week. You know what I gotta wake up every day and do? I gotta find a way to create $1 from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
From scratch. That's a different type pressure.
Yeah.
But it's a benefit in that pressure. Because the reality of it is, if you don't put that pressure on yourself, you can never figure out who you are.
Mm.
You can never figure out or get to that best version without the pressure.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they not going to tell you this. They're going to kick other shit to you. But a lot of people not going to tell you is a lot of people are really complacent.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are really complacent. And so I'm one of those people, I'm never complacent.
Right.
And so it's just like, and I've been in a position lately where, you know, I spent a lot of time by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm one of those people, like, I'm my biggest critic.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you go into those spaces, like, you got to really look in the mirror.
Definitely got to look in the mirror.
You got to really look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Because a lot of people realize just really lying to themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of people really spend every day. They've been lying to themselves for so long, they believe it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They believe it. And so it's just like, I sat in that mirror, I was like, okay, bet. This is what we gonna do. Since the day I left that job, I ain't had no 9 to 5 since that day. And I ain't gonna say it ain't been hard.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't gonna say it be tough.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say it's some months where I might not figure that shit out until the 29th.
Right.
But my way to keep going is just like, I know where I'm trying to get. As long as I survive and keep pushing forward,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. Because I'm in a space in life where money don't have value to me.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, let me
Yeah, go ahead.
expand on that. It's like, I'm not saying money don't have value.
Right.
Because you can't do nothing without money. But when I say money don't have value to me, money is only a tool and resource.
Yeah.
So this person can take $10,000 and it looked like that when they got $10,000. But me, I can take $10,000 and I know how to put it in certain places and it looked like 25. I'm the type person where I had this conversation with my homeboy the other day. Well, no, earlier. I was talking to him on the phone earlier. And he was saying, like, I went to this class and they was talking about, like credit and stuff like this. And it's real, I'm telling you, this real time on the phone right before I came in here. And so it's just like, and that's another thing, like, I've always been the person that like always been a big brother to people.
Yeah.
So that's why now, like, even in the space I'm in now, like when we come do the interviews and stuff like that, I go talk to the kids because I realized of late, I'm in a space where I actually know how to articulate and have a voice that I can really reach people.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I was talking to him and he was like, yeah, I went to a class, he's teaching us about credit and certain things to do, secured credit cards, life insurance and stuff like that. And the response I gave him was, I told him, it's crazy. It might sound crazy at first, but once we break it down, I said, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, a lot of that information was really remedial.
And what he said?
This the catch, though. He was like, he said, yeah. But then when I told him, I followed up with this, though. I said, a lot of that information was remedial. I say, but it's not remedial to you because you didn't know none of that information.
Right.
I said, because then I say you got to look at the trajectory too. I say because older people gonna give you older game. I say it because that's survival advice.
Right.
I say that's advice to somebody who trying to go get, I say, a home.
Yeah.
I say it's first time buyers, somebody trying to go get a home, XYZ. I say, when I look at credit and stuff like that, I'm trying to leverage credit because I'm the type person like I'm trying to make investments. Because, and I say that because a lot of people when I say complacency, a lot of people like we're in complacency as a people by default. And I say that because you can't vision different if you've never seen different.
Right.
If you've never been exposed to it.
Right.
So it's like that leads to our complacency.
Right.
You can't tell a person and have certain conversations with certain people because they don't understand that.
Right.
And so
They haven't even seen it.
They haven't even seen it.
They ain't got nothing to do with they did it. They never even seen it.
They never even seen it. And they don't even know anybody around them that did it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a lot of things with us as a community. Is just like, so that's why you can try to make sure you congratulate the people that's actually trying to push the envelope forward, because those are the people that's pouring into the future.
Right.
Because now we're in a space where these kids know that old game don't really apply.
Right.
It's a foundation, but it doesn't apply
Right.
to the next level.
Right. To the top.
Because now we're in a space where we grew up in a time where your parents gonna tell you go get a job and work for 30 years
Yeah.
and retire.
Right.
But my mama will tell you this. I'm gonna have the conversation. We done had the conversation where she done got mad at me and hung up on me, and I tell her, I say, I respect what you saying, but I seen you work 30 years
Right.
and nothing.
Right.
You get retirement, you have to go back to work. So you tell me I'm finna give all these people these time? I spend 30 years on me. It's no telling where God gonna have me.
Right.
And so that's when I say it's just like, you gotta, the only way to get what you want out of this life is bet on yourself.
Yeah. For sure.
And so, shit, I learned how to survive. The rest of that, I'm just chasing the inevitable at this point.
Right.
I ain't really worried about the extra stuff, so it's just like trying to take it to the next level.
Step by step. My homeboy OGP Road say, teach with your feet.
Teach with your feet.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy you say teach with your feet, because I had a conversation with one of my people. We got into a debate, a heated little conversation. And I told him, I said, I honestly don't want to hear it.
Right.
And the reason why I want to hear it, because a lot of people mouth not matching their feet.
Right.
Your mouth don't match your feet.
Right.
You say you want to do this, you say you want to do that. Anybody that got anything going on, whether it's a clothing brand, whether it's a business, whether it's a trade, whether it's skill, you don't really believe in yourself if you're not willing to go all in.
Right.
You don't really believe in yourself if you ain't willing to fail.
Facts.
You don't really believe in yourself if you willing to do this shit with nobody supporting you.
And you gotta let people go.
And you got to detach.
Right.
And it's crazy you say that, because that's the transition. When you transition, you understand, like, when you do certain things, you understand, like, one thing that I understood in the last 2-3 years or so is just like, you got to understand who you are, and you got to understand who people want you to be for them.
And, or how Jay-Z said it, basically like they put their fears on you.
They can put their fears on you, but they put their trajectory on you. Prime example, right? Real time. I'm going to give my situation. So it's just like, you know, like, as I grew up, I've always had different friends and different associates. But it's just like, as you grow and mature, it's just like, I understand. I've had friends that I'm not necessarily be around as much. Like, if you catch me, I'm dolo most of the time. That I'm not as around as much, because when I got in certain different situations and changed dirt and did different things, what you understand is when you're trying to grow and do different things, it puts a lens on the person that these people want you to be for them.
Right. And then you'll be
So-
training yourself to try to.
Exactly. So if you like, these person was with you when you used to go out and party all the time and do this XYZ, that's the person they want you to be for them.
Yeah.
That benefits them.
Them. Yeah.
That don't necessarily benefit me.
Right.
And then I'm in a space where tired of being the smartest person in the room.
Shout out to my dog Aunt Brad. He said the same thing too.
Tired of being the smartest.
He want to be. See when he said, "I'm trying to hang around people better than me." He said, "I'm ignorant." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
and it's just like, I wouldn't even say tired of being around people not smarter than me. It's just like I've always like been the smarter person in a
the
lot
big
of
brother
rooms
and all that.
and the big brother, but growth comes with information.
Yeah.
That's how I became information.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm always trying to like go to the next room. I'm always trying to grow.
Right.
I'm not in a space where a lot of people with social media and all that, a lot of people are in a space of trying to create who they think they are.
Mm-hmm. The Matrix.
In the Matrix.
Mhm.
I say they caught up in the illusion.
Yeah. That
We-
blue pill.
They caught up in a blue pill. And it's
Mhm.
they caught up in illusion. This go from career. This go from relationships. They go to money. It go to everything
Even
because
itself.
even self.
Don't look in, like you said. Don't look in the mirror.
They don't look in the mirror
my
because the internet creates us this illusion
Mm-hmm.
that we have so many opportunities, so many options,
Mm-hmm.
so many XYZ.
Mhm.
But what you don't realize is a lot of people don't realize the energy that you attract from that internet.
Yeah.
Those people only attract to you for what you put on that internet.
Facts.
Those people don't know you.
Exactly.
Them people might not even like you once
Mhm.
they realize they fuck with you. But the one thing I've always did was, good or bad, I'm Gavin.
Right. That's a fact, bro. That's like you were saying just now. Like, I had a friend, a homegirl, and she said she can't get good men. I said, of course you can. You keep twerking your ass on your stories. Of course you're gonna attract.
That's what you gonna get what you attract.
You're gonna get what you
get
attract.
you get what you bait.
Right.
And it's just like, and I say that, and I said this in that previous interview I had last year. I said, you know, like if you talk to Daquan and Paige, then they be like, oh, the woo, the woo, the woo. And you know, it's crazy because at one point, you know, when I was at one point I was the woo, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. That wasn't even like, that started with me and my homeboys in college. That was
Right.
like our little clique name. Like it was some funny shit we created. We just ran with it. I just kind of ran with it from a branding standpoint.
Yeah.
And I made it to what it is now. But it's just like, even I said in that last interview, it's just like as I grow and get older, that phase really don't exist no more.
Got you.
The next phase is for Gavin.
Yeah.
Because this is how I'm becoming the best version of Gavin.
Right.
That's cool and all when it's a hearsay for a conversation.
Yeah.
But in all reality is I've been Gavin the whole time.
Right. I
And
feel
so
you on
it's
that.
like a lot of times it's just like people be like, so, you know, it's just like I'm not. Some people may say, oh, well, he might be cocky or he might be arrogant. And say, but I'm not really like that though.
Right.
See, if you get to know me, like I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I'm a genuine person in real life. Like people know that. Like I get my blessings for being there from other people.
Right.
But what I know too is like I'm one of those people. Like I'm not gonna downplay myself
You know you.
for nobody. I know me and I
Right.
know the work that I put in
Right.
to this day.
Mhm.
And I know the work I'm still trying to put in. So I'm not in a place where I'm gonna downplay
Right.
who I am
Yeah.
or the work I put in to make nobody feel
I understand
comfortable.
you completely what you mean, bro, because you're not dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you understand. Like I said, my favorite say everybody wants to be understood, but everybody's not understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So when
You gotta give people, how I say this, I've been using this lately. It's just like, it's crazy we live in a world where we want God to give us all his grace
Mm-hmm.
while we make all these mistakes, disrespect him and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't turn around and give the same grace he give
Same
us.
thing.
That's delusional.
Yeah.
It's delusional.
Selfish.
It's selfish. And it's like, so in a sense of, it's just like, sometimes Because people are in a space of creating themselves or trying to figure out. It's just like we get in a space where it was just like we lose ourselves in the character.
Mm-hmm.
We start doing stuff that's performative.
Yeah.
If it's performative, it's not genuine.
Right. That
If
flesh,
I'm not-
like in that flesh thing, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I move in a space where like I let the mind decide what we doing,
Mm-hmm.
but I let the heart complete the action.
Got you. Make perfect sense.
Because a lot of people don't understand is the devil operates in the mind.
Yeah.
That's where you confuse yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But God manifests in the heart.
Right.
That's why if you pay attention when it comes to success and doing what you love, people only get what they want out of life when they do what they love.
Right.
Not what they do what they choose.
Right.
Because it's a different feeling
Mm-hmm.
when you wake up and you doing what you love.
Right. Because there's the other thing too, when you flip it in a way when it comes to, because when people think you're saying that, they might be thinking you're just saying when it comes to that, you're gonna be a failure here. No, you can be quote unquote successful or like got money, but every like my homeboy OGP Rose, you definitely I gotta have him on my show with you because y'all would definitely get along. At every level is a different devil.
It's a different devil.
You know what I'm saying? So you gonna have this, like the devil will give you the money. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna give you everything to create the illusion of success.
That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna give you everything.
You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, you doing, everything that's fucking the community, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, he always and OG always talk about the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Everybody worrying about these 2 eyes, you worry about the third one. You know what I'm saying? So everything you see, you know what I'm saying, it's just flesh. You know what I'm saying? And that can go in a way that take you the wrong route. You know what I'm saying? Flesh with the women, everything. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, bro, good shit, bro.
We just gotta, like move in purpose.
Yeah.
Figure out like a lot, and that's a lot. I ask people, like, have you ever really even sat down and figured out what you really want to do? If you ask people, what do you want to do with your life? 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
As what do you want to do with your life? Some people may give you an answer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, when they give you that answer, they ain't really confident with that answer.
Right.
Okay. Next question I ask. Most people don't even get past the second question. I say, so if you want to do that, what is your plan to become that?
Right.
Most people don't even have a plan, my guy.
Mm.
They just out here floating.
Floating?
Just out here floating.
Damn.
Most people don't have a plan. How can
They
you?
just laying their hand?
They expect. Some people try to pray in blessings.
I'm telling you, man. Faith without work is dead.
Hey, they praying them in. I'm telling you, they try to pray them in. I'm telling you, people
Faith
try to
without work is dead, man.
trying to pray them in.
That ain't how it works, man.
Put your head down. Put that work in.
Yeah.
Man, listen to me. You'd be surprised what God can do for you.
I'm glad you said too about spending time with yourself, man. I think that's very important. Spending time with yourself. Think about ideas. Be creative with your vision. Ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Study. You know what I'm saying? Look at other people doing what you're doing and see things like that.
Tune in to what you're trying to do.
Dude,
Go
yes.
get the information that's needed.
Yeah.
And when it's like spending time with yourself, it's just like you got to figure out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna act like everything was peaches and
Oh,
cream.
no,
Like
definitely not.
I'd have
It's
been.
not supposed to be.
Yeah, I'd have been through some of my darkest times.
It gotta test you, see if you really
I'd
want
have been
it.
through my darkest time as of late.
Yeah. To see if you really want it.
But my thing was, it was just like, okay, it's here.
Yeah.
We got to stand in
You
it.
gotta stand in it.
Because
You know
that's
what
what
I'm
we're going to figure out. And it's just like, when you say spend time with yourself, like I spend so much time with myself. Like you got to understand, when you really spending time with yourself, when you be alone, it ain't nobody but you and God.
Nobody but you and God. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And it's crazy. Them the only two that can figure it out.
Yep.
You can't get them answers from nobody else.
Nobody.
Nobody can create them answers from you.
Ma.
And a lot of times you will find yourself, instead of trying to sit there with yourself, with God and really figure out yourself and really look in that mirror and be honest with yourself
and hold yourself accountable.
and hold accountable
Right.
and hold yourself really accountable. Because a lot of times when we say accountability, people will say right or wrong.
Right.
Accountability doesn't have nothing to do with right or wrong. Because in all reality, whether that situation went right
or wrong,
or whether that situation went wrong, you got accountability in all that situation. So when it come to work, when it come to relationships, when it come to all that, it's just like, what did you do wrong
for that to happen?
Yeah. Because nothing don't just happen.
Right.
It trickled.
Right. Even when the part of you saw the signs, you didn't leave. You still stayed. You could have left, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't. You still stayed.
And even if you saw the signs, I say, it's not even about staying or leaving either. Because this the thing. With accountability, with true accountability on both ends, any problem has a solution.
Right. And sometimes the problem will be y'all. The problem just be the problem.
The problem just be the problem. But as men,
talk to them.
As men, you know, we are mission driven.
Yeah.
To a point where we're always looking at the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
We look at the finish line. Women look at the race by every 10 meters.
Yeah.
So that problem that happened at the beginning of the race, you might not think it's an issue because you done made it to the 50.
Right.
That problem that happened at the 30, you might not think it's an issue because you done made it to the 60.
Right.
Little do you know, it been accountability in every little thing. And as men, our biggest problem is we don't know how to be accountable without being defensive.
Yeah.
Because we've always been on the defense.
Yeah.
Accountability only comes from people telling you you're doing something wrong that genuinely got love for you.
Right. Hell yeah.
We put our guard up. And instead of listening,
opening up
to understand, we just listen to hear.
Yep.
You got to listen to comprehend.
Listen to respond.
You got to listen, and we listen to respond. So the first thing somebody say,
you already shut the rest of it off. Everything, you ready to go? You ready to talk? You just wait till the finish. Keep going.
But you know how delusional it is though, and how so mentally it's fucked up in society as a man to be on the defense that much, because we already know from going to school this whole time, you only understand the whole thing from reading the whole book.
Yeah. The whole book. Even you trying to, then you be trying to project what's going on in the future of the book sometimes. And then you be like, but you got to read the whole thing. And you got to listen to the whole thing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
As men, we got to learn how to be in the moment, but still plan for the future.
Yeah. For sure.
And so it's just like, and a lot of times it's just like.
The end goal.
The end goal. But we got to learn how to focus on the end goal, but still be present.
Yeah.
A lot of us are not present.
Right. That's saying that you said you had to work on when it comes to even with the tunnel vision. Now,
yeah.
When you used to say I, now you say we.
Exactly.
The involvement of the moment.
Exactly. The involvement of the moment.
The end goal's still gonna be the end goal, but it ain't just me now.
Exactly.
It's
we gotta understand. We gotta be accountable. And be honest with ourselves, because as men, we control the trajectory of the community.
Right.
And we are failing the community.
Right.
We're leaving the women out here to raise these boys, but don't really have time to raise these boys. We leaving these women out here stranded because we can't be man enough to communicate.
Or be transparent.
And be transparent.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because sometimes we'll communicate, but we're not really being transparent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of men not keep it. You gotta be honest.
I'm glad I had certain friends. Shout out to Justin, Elm, and Charles, and my homeboy Chris. Thank God they had father figures and stuff in their life and stuff. They taught me how to be transparent. They taught me, like, shut up and listen. Cause I'm from the projects. I'm from Sassen Homes. So I can't move here or whatever. Then next thing you know, I gotta meet new friends. I gotta, so I'm zoomed out now.
See,
So now
that's a different perspective.
Right,
So they taught you how to
take honesty first of
take
all.
honesty.
Yeah, and not say as in you try to hurt my feelings and make me mad. We got to fight. See, if I would
Exactly.
hit them, they would not be my friends. No more.
Exactly.
So now I got to
See.
just sit back and just learn this new trait that I never seen in the projects before. Cause you see something, you don't like what I don't like what you say. You got the book. You know what I'm saying? But then when I move here and I chill with them, and they just being honest with love. They ain't even try to see in the hood. Most of the time they try to be funny, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or hurt people. They would just be honesty, like you said. They care. So they telling me things that I was like, what? And then when it came to me just sit back and relax, I could take honesty in a way that it's just honesty.
Yeah.
It's not hurt.
But you know what the funny thing about honesty is? We accept honesty more from people we don't know than people that care about us.
Facts. That's a fact. But it's the same thing when it comes to the business. Strangers support us more than our own people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And so it's just like, as men, we got to do better because just like we in control of our community.
Yeah.
We got these kids out here. I grew up. I ain't had no father figures.
Right. Our community was a little bit different though.
Yeah.
You can't disrespect next door neighbor.
Yeah, like I grew up like, and that's the thing too, is just like I grew up in a space where I was always the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always a fly on the wall. I'm not a talker.
Right.
I know how to talk and I talk.
Right.
But I'm not naturally like I'm a fly on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pay attention first person.
Right. Got
So
it.
that's how I learned a lot of my game. So it's just like, and I grew up in a space where dysfunction, issues never were solved.
Mm-hmm.
Issues were taught to let's let it blow over.
Right. Or put a Band-Aid on it and then
Never really address the real issue.
Right.
So every time you have something that's really bottom line,
just put
come
a
back.
Band-Aid, don't put on alcohol, none of that.
Nothing. Band-Aid,
Use
keep it
Band-Aid,
pushing.
keep it pushing. Next thing you got a goddamn a fungus because y'all never solved it. You know what I'm saying?
Never solved
And another thing we don't work on is our emotional intelligence when it comes to you hurt me by sound angry. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
you hurt my feelings.
Exactly.
But I'm like, fuck you, compared to like, bro, that hurt, bro. Like, what you mean by that?
Cause we be on the defense.
But that's all we knew too. That's all we've been raised
That's
with.
all we've been raised where we're from the same community, so we can have this conversation. We've been raised in a community where a vulnerability
It's a weakness.
is a weakness. In every sense of the word. In every sense of the word. So it's just like we get in our situations.
Our situation.
In our situations, we don't learn
Yeah.
emotional intelligence and vulnerability until we get our heart broke.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
And the only reason we learn that because you forced to talk.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we don't address things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that we don't address things. We don't know, like you say, emotional talent.
Yeah.
We don't know how to say, you hurt me when you did it that way.
Right. Yeah.
We gonna respond in a way where I'm not dealing with that,
Yeah. Yep.
but it's gonna come with
Right.
defense.
Yeah. Or you just don't say nothing and you let it build up. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I think we getting better in the community at that when it comes to having these type of conversations and things like that. You know, so but like I said, thank God for my friend Justin, Amp, Mark, Chris, and all these boys because I wasn't a bad person. Like I wasn't it's just the norm. Like my norm was like I didn't really do it, but it was normal to steal. Like it was just normal. Like you go to Dollar General, you can steal. Like that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really do it because that wasn't how I wasn't raised. But that's all I'm around. Like I'm in.
Yeah.
Back in that day, you outside.
It's normal.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You outside. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, when it comes to the emotion part about explaining and talking, we wasn't taught that. You know what I'm saying?
No, and we never had people around to display that.
Mm-hmm.
Come from a single parent home. I ain't never seen no man talk to my mom.
Right.
I seen men come and go.
Right.
I never seen a man. You never seen like you don't get older till you realize like damn.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never besides movies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never seen a man actually love a woman.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because I was telling, a long time ago, shot my homeboy Darren, and we was at a bar one time, it was a long time ago. And I was like, it's crazy how some of my parents fucked us up. He was like, what you mean? It's like, I was like, man, when you was kids, like, if you say something to your parent, even though they wrong, if you say something they don't like, you're gonna get popped. Now when you grown, you raised that way. So somebody can say something true or say something you just don't like. Why you just can't walk away, deal with it? Why you want to hit them?
Yeah.
Why you want to? Because you been raised that way.
Yeah.
When you say something to your mom that
But-
she don't like,
Yeah, but
she hit you.
It's funny though. See, me, my whole life, I've been Malcolm X. I ain't
Right.
never been. I've been Malcolm X. I ain't never been Martin.
Right.
So I'm gonna take that popping to say how I feel.
Yeah.
Because my
That's
mom,
what I'm saying.
my mom always told me the one thing she always told me, she was, Gavin, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I know certain times I'm gonna have to say it a certain way for you to register,
Yeah.
for you to really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people where I ain't gonna really say nothing
Mm-hmm.
until it get to a point where I feel like I gotta say something.
So I like to say something at the beginning.
No, and I used to be like that, but it's just like I'm a type person now because I've always been a person like I'm a person now. It's just like I understand climate and like when you go into those workspace and stuff like that, I understand certain things. Just like so, I'm at a point in life where peace matter.
Yeah.
So when you say soon as it rubbed me the wrong way,
Yeah. But I'm not attacking.
no, not attacking. I'm
Right.
addressing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Not attacking.
Yeah.
I'm addressing.
Right.
I want you to understand
Yeah.
that didn't sit right with me.
Mm-hmm. Because sometimes when you let it build up, sometimes you let it build up and you say something then, most time, the majority of the time, they might do it again.
Yeah, because
'Cause
when you don't speak up,
Yeah.
you teach people how to treat you.
Treat you, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on the scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like I have, some people don't like it, but I don't care. Like if we somewhere and you acting a fool, I'm not gonna like yell at you crazy. I'm gonna let you know at that moment you acting a fool. I'm not the type of person gonna be like, yeah, I got your back, behind closed doors. I'm like, hey, you know you was wrong. We could have been that shit could have been dangerous in one way.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you now, I'm not gonna say it in a crazy way unless I have to say it in a crazy way for you to like hear me. Like it's like if I say chill, relax, calm down, shut up. You told me shut up. I said chill, relax. I said everything else before shut up even came up. That must be registered to you. Chill didn't register to you. So cause I don't want to get, cause what happened is in their head some people be like, oh, I guess I could just do it again. He's just gonna tell me behind closed doors that, you know what I'm saying, that he gonna just tell me not to.
No, I ain't with it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I ain't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's-
We gonna let you know, like, bro,
right,
you
yeah,
tripping.
that's what I'm
you
saying.
tripping right now. You tripping.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Because in all reality, if I tell you tripping and you don't register that you
Yeah.
tripping,
I can't fuck with you.
I'm gonna just
Can't-
fall
yeah,
back.
fall
from
back. Exactly.
I ain't. And then you gonna be trying to like. And that's why I say like now you'll see me do just like I'ma just fall back, and it's really not in a
And
situation.
they gonna fall back too because they don't want to hear that.
Exactly.
They don't wanna hear that.
want to hear that either.
Yeah.
But then even when you fall back, some people gonna be like, man, but he done switched up on me. It's not that I really switched up. I just realized I'm
just adjust.
I'm just at an age, and I'm at an age where a lot of situations you just gotta love from a distance.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's not no issue. It's not no beef or none of that.
No beef.
When I see you, it's
Yeah.
gonna be all love.
And I'm praying for you.
And I'm praying for you, and I wish you the best.
Yes.
It's just like, it gotta add up and make
Yeah.
sense.
Facts.
And I ain't really in it. If I gotta explain stuff to you, and you don't get it now,
Right.
if I feel like I even gotta explain it, if I explain it to you, if you don't get it the
Right.
first
And
time,
if I was explaining it to you and you respond,
It's over
listen
with.
to respond, not listen
it's
to
over
understand.
with. It's over with.
Just like we talked about
It's
before.
over with.
You know what I'm saying?
And the reason why I'm like that too is because I've been in different spaces and been in different situations where stuff like that, you can lose your life
Yeah.
with shit like that.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I move a certain way, I pay attention a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like I understand the climate and I see a lot of stuff before it happened because I read people and read situations.
And that's when accountability come in, because you know what? It's sure your fault too because you let it got there.
Exactly.
It's not just his fault.
Exactly.
That's what we was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's accountability. It's just like, bro, we play a part in everything, right and wrong.
Everything, bro.
Right and wrong.
Everything.
And to become the best version of yourself.
So,
and to really reach your full purpose, you got to be real with yourself, man.
Right.
You got to.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Hey, man, we done had Mr. Met League, we had the Woo, and we ended the conversation with Gavin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know what I mean?
See?
You see?
Just
You like
that.
You like that?
We run it. And then we run it like that. And so just to not let people, we go end it like this. You know, July 6th, the biggest show on earth.
Yes, sir.
Met League Sundays is back for 7 weeks. Sundays.
What time?
1 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yes, sir. You got
Doors
time,
open at 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. We got that good food. We got the good vibes. We got the community atmosphere. And most of all, we got love in the building.
What's the tickets? What's the price?
Do donations at the door.
Okay.
You know, the door give you more details on
Gotcha.
that. But we do donations. We do raffles. We do stuff like that. Also, if you got kids, we're going to drop a link in the next week or so. If you got kids or you got anybody that love basketball, they ain't got to be elite. They ain't got to be great. But if they just love the game, we got a free kids camp August 4th through the 8th. The location will drop. So go follow the Met League. That's THEMET League on IG, Facebook, all platforms for all updates. Also, August 17th, we got the For Love of Game High School Showcase Classic. That's another way we implementing in the community to touch the community. And we got more stuff coming.
Right.
Just follow the page for updates. But, you know, we taking it to the next level.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to add on to the part with the kids. Bring your kids, too, if they just want to know basketball. 'Cause, you know, if you put your kids in there, even though they might not like it, learn how to be uncomfortable. We talked about before. Let's might be a new friend.
You
might
might
be a new mentor. Exactly. So bring the kids, man, to a event where they're gonna be around with other kids and adults that care about the kids in the community.
Because the biggest thing is, it's not just about the game.
Right.
You know, I credit the game to the game. The game helped me become a man I am today.
Right.
The game of basketball taught me friendship, taught me teamwork, taught me character, taught me morale, taught me loyal. It taught me every attribute and characteristics you need.
How to take losses.
Exactly. So it's just like basketball is more than just a game.
Right.
So when I say we having the kids camp, yeah, we gonna play a little basketball. We gonna have some fun too. It ain't just about basketball. They gonna learn something. That's why I say it ain't about being the best. There's not no elite camp. We ain't ranking players. We coming in. We having a great time, and we gonna fellowship.
Yeah.
And so that's the same thing with the Met League. Next Sunday, we start next Sunday. Just come out and fellowship. You know, that's what we doing. We fellowship with the community. We using basketball, and we just growing.
Facts. Y'all heard my man. Appreciate you pulling up, bro.
Appreciate you.
Oh, yes, sir. Y'all know my saying, we don't pay no bills, we get refills, man. We out.
We out.
Yes, sir.
Ready, ready or not, here I come. Ready, ready or not,
Here I come, motherfucker.
You sure? Ain't gonna show you?
I just want to make sure.
Photo.
Here I am, nigga. Who the fuck gon' take some? Bitch, nigga. Put you in the grave, I'm a ditch digger. Here's the kicker, I'ma kick niggas right in the face if they talk shit or disrespect this nigga. I dare niggas like a buck though. This how you gotta move on a hunt though. Put that tape on the camera at your front door. Running your house, folk. You think I got a gun for? You about to find out. I don't give a fuck if that's your hideout. And I don't give a fuck if that's your mom house, nigga. Duct tape your auntie what my guys bout, nigga. Jack of all trade, man, I got one trick. Hold on, but I got gun tricks. Treat you like you easy with your bitch. Who you lunch with? Leave us sticking next to each other. We really stone shit. We don't care what you done did. When you show to be the same color as rum is. I put some hoes in your boots, and you can't get a credit. I don't feel shit, fuck, nigga. Who the fuck want war, nigga? Huh? Who the fuck want war, nigga? I'm outside with the gun, not the sword, nigga. Huh? Who the fuck want war, nigga? Who the fuck want war, nigga? Huh? Who the fuck want war, nigga?
Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
Pump is up like Reebok. We don't give a fuck who he shot. Slow the fuck down, you can catch a speed knot. Or they gon' reminisce over you like Pete Rock. Your bitch looking your fresh, she beatbox. See what I did there, let's get clear. Like Visine, the bullshit you niggas is selling, no buy dreams. Really, I'm bout cream. Pull up, slow to the spot, no high beams. That's what your ass get for fucking with fine teens. Laughing with them bitches and making online memes. Really, they just here for the jokes, no vibing. Ready or not, just like a Fuji. This'll be your favorite song like Tootsie. I set it off like Boosie. Bitch, I set it off like the movie. I'm a mechanic with the toolie. Hammers, gangbangers, bandanas. Baby, no bullshit, no pamper. Wash your ass up like cleaners with no hamper. Who the fuck want war, nigga? Huh? Who the fuck want war, nigga? I'm outside with the gun, not the sword, nigga. Huh? Who the fuck want war, nigga? Yeah. Who the fuck want war, nigga? Huh? Who the fuck want war, nigga? I'm outside with the gun, not the sword, nigga.
Started with a bald head and ended with braids.
Nigga's stupid as fuck.
When that fire starts to burn.